6 feet. 6 feet.
Welcome to the podcast you never knew you needed. And so we are excited. We're coming back. This is number 9. I did not think that we'd make it 9 episodes, but we did, barely. And a few things. Don't forget to follow us at 6 Feet Pod on Instagram. Also, look us up on Facebook. You can also go to 6feetpod.com. There we have our merch and a lot of different things, a few different shirts. You can get your favorite I Voted for Ben shirt or I'm the special guest shirt. Also, you can get a host mug, all right, that I'm still waiting on myself. Also, you can subscribe to us on YouTube. If you found us by accident, just simply hit the subscribe button. Follow us. Connect with us in a lot of different ways. We got to post things to our Instagram story, some quizzes, some polls, all those good things. And so, thank you once again for joining us today. We're excited. We got a cool show lined up for you, I believe. Which brings me to it's 6 Feet Podcast with me, DJ Pope, and a special guest. And so this special boiled it down to who we knew we could call. So our people, once again, reached out to this person's people. We decided to really settle. Didn't make a whole lot more phone calls, but once again, I'm glad that he's here. He's a man amongst boys. He's an extremely interesting person, to say the least. I've known him for the last 29 years, Yeah, I can't think of anything else. All right, my brother, Jacob Smith. Come on in, Jacob. We are excited for this special guest making his way through the long corridor to get here. Come, welcome. Yeah, just pull out the seat. Take a seat there.
Okay. It's good to.
Nobody cheered.
Okay. Did you? It's a new setup.
Nice, Ben.
Since it's kind of a new little setup here.
Yeah, good.
What's
We've been working out for the past few weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, wasn't talking directly to Ben, but what's up with that interview or the intro?
I just ran out some stuff to say.
I just felt like it was
not much
pretty,
to talk about.
Like I take time to be here, and I'm trying to.
Let me. I forgot. I completely forgot. Let me introduce our off-screen man, Ben.
Okay. We're still.
Calm down, everybody. Ben,
applause?
You doing okay?
I'm doing great.
You're finally mic'd up, Ben.
I know.
You're not
actually
speaking.
have this thing, and it actually works.
I know. We can hear you. It's pretty cool.
Ben gets
yell
some
anymore.
applause.
Yeah, Ben. So you
course I get
guys
applause.
don't forget to connect with Ben in the chat. And on YouTube Live, you can directly talk to him. He's there talking back and forth with you, taking your questions that you might have. If you have any questions during our topic time or during just our viewer questions, you have some off-the-wall thing that you want to ask us and want us to answer, ask it in the chat. Ben is the controller of that, and he'll be keeping you informed and talking with you through that as well. So
any anti-ban comments will be removed.
Any anti-banned?
Ben
comments.
Yeah.
Any anti-Ben comments will be removed. Ben does have...
This is a dictatorship.
It's a dictatorship. All right. Don't say that. Ben, that's politically incorrect. All right. Oh, Jacob. Sorry. I forgot you were over there. So, anyways...
I'm appalled. This is ridiculous. You try to be a friend, and you try to. What's up with this mic? You try to be a friend, and you go out of your way to be there for somebody, and thanks to me, we had a great show last week, and
I thought we had a show last week, but you weren't.
You weren't
here.
there.
Well, I was special. Okay, but okay. I'm this. There's I'm the special guest. I was a special guest for
no,
the show.
you had called into the show. We had, if
Yeah,
you don't
I
remember,
called
we
in.
had Bridget
Yes,
Golubinsky,
because that's
who was
because the door was
phenomenal,
locked.
by the
I was sitting outside with the door locked.
Oh, we got trash
Yes.
now.
Yep.
That's good.
I-
All right, but yeah, you're right. You were
I
outside.
was outside with the door locked.
It also
So
was,
I
But
called
we've
in.
already established that you're the
And
special guest now.
I was the
but not
special
later.
guest.
I feel like you're really living in the past right now.
I was the special guest
Last week
when I
you weren't the
called
special
in.
guest. No.
So
That was
okay,
Bridget.
Well,
Yeah, we had Bridget
we had Bridget.
Golubinsky. She was phenomenal, by the way. I mean,
Best guest we've had.
possibly the best one we've had.
doubt
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it's probably
I don't know.
her,
It's not what the comments
Gary a
have
close
said.
second.
And then Jacob's
And then-
way down here.
I don't think there's a consensus
four.
on
We've had
that.
a few.
I think there's a
We've
lot
had a few
of.
others.
They just don't.
Yeah.
They don't
I think
hit
that
those
there's
two.
a lot of
Yeah.
debate about that, and I don't know if any. I
Is
don't know
there
if any of
debate
our
in the chat, Ben?
our.
There is no debate in the chat. It's a solid consensus.
It's not,
Okay.
okay. Well,
All right.
that sounds. I don't know.
So, man, I
I
feel
just
like it's a
wouldn't-
little dark over here. Is it a little dark in this
Well,
area?
I told Ben the light wasn't on.
and there, oh no.
it works.
Yeah, pick up that battery, Ben. and
So
put
that
it
was
back.
Ben's only
So we have
only job. That
we
was
have
his only job was to
and to
turn
type in the chat.
that
Well-
light on so that you could see something.
I thought it'd be a good idea to
And
give Ben a
Ben
microphone.
failed.
Maybe that was
It's
not.
good that I'm back because the show is obviously off the rails, and I'm here to clean that up. I'm here to pick up all the pieces that they're just throwing all over the place.
Well,
You're welcome. Please keep bringing those comments that say that you want
slide it on,
Jacob
Ben.
back. You want Jacob every show, and that you should
Yeah.
really just get rid of the special guest part and just put Jacob right there. So,
if the logo's already done, I don't think it's gonna fit.
well, it's really
All right.
easy to edit. I
So
mean, you could just
let's move
just
into
wouldn't
our
even be
special
Photoshop
topic. Okay.
because you wrote special guest. You
so
could
as
just
you
click on
guys-
it and delete the letter, so that doesn't.
I think we need to
Alright.
move on.
Okay, we're moving forward.
I mean, I'm not skilled in Illustrator, so
It wouldn't.
it's
It
gonna
doesn't.
have to work. All right.
You made the logo, so I mean.
6 feet topic of the week, and so this week
I don't like the sounds. I do not like the sounds.
you put on your grumpy pants today.
I'm
All
getting
right.
this show back on track.
All right. So, Daniel chapter 1 through chapter 3. Okay. The topic today is no compromise. I think that a lot of times this runs rampant in our society is the idea that I'm going to hold to my convictions until I can find a gray area. And then we kind of back off of those convictions. And I think one thing let me scoot this chair up. Goodness gracious. With Daniel, you see some major no compromise stances in the first 3 chapters for sure. I mean, you see it through all the book of Daniel, but we're not even getting to Daniel in the lion's den or any of those types of things. But it's as if Daniel writes, and they're in an area with this pagan Babylon, this king who is very much self-centered, sets up this image to himself, which we'll kind of look at and discuss today. But it's all about basically Daniel and his friends' refusal to give up their belief system in order to basically make life better for them in this new place. Would you say that we have an issue with compromise nowadays, Jacob?
Yeah, as I have a Facebook, and I think we all do.
Yeah.
You could spend about 15 seconds on there and realize that.
Yeah, or you could scroll for 30 minutes and find a whole lot. So either one. Ben, how's your Facebook going, by the way?
I don't have a Facebook.
Yeah, it's a shocker. All right, and so, anyways, thank you. All right.
Laughing at what he said, not
And
what
the
you
fact
said.
that you don't have a Facebook. All right. And so with Daniel, Daniel starts off right off the bat in chapter 1. And so if you don't know how the story goes, King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon comes in, conquers the nation of Israel, lays Jerusalem to waste. And what they basically do is they kidnap what they believe are the best and brightest kids that are there, and they take them back and they set them up in the king's court, and basically what they're going to do is they're going to train them to speak the language, to teach them in the the fine arts and the mathematics, whatever Babylon, the best that Babylon had to offer, and they basically wanted to poach Israel's best people to come over to Babylon and basically benefit them in some way, because Israel probably had a reputation of being quite the kingdom, especially a small kingdom that was so powerful in its ancient day. And so he brings it back and starts off in chapter 1. And I'm guessing really the issue is the idea that the king tried to give them both wine and meat from the king's own stock. Well, that stock probably included unclean animals that Daniel and the other ones had vowed not to eat as Jewish young men. And Daniel said, no, I'm not going to eat those. This is basically a death sentence for him to do so. And you remember what he asked him to replace it with in the story? No, so he gives them, he says, don't give us meat, don't give us wine. Instead, just replace it with vegetables, basically. We'll eat only vegetables. And this guy's saying, okay, well, when you come back and you're like uber skinny, all right, the king's going to have a major problem with us and me especially. And he said, no, I want you to make sure that you let them know that me and these three guys over here, all right, who would become Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they had their own Hebrew names at the time, but basically to say we will basically prove ourselves that we look better than the others after we've had a lesser diet in their eyes. So 10 days comes around, and sure enough, he brings them before them, and they look better than the others. And so no compromise. Death is once again on the table. I think that's the big thing. Ben, you're looking at it, first chapter 1, 2, and 3, you kind of got the idea that death is kind of on the table for every chapter.
Consistently, yeah.
Consistently.
There's always like a threat to them being there. Just their presence is just...
If you don't do what we say, you will die. All right, and there is no real compromise. There's no big prison sentence or trial or anything like that. It's if you don't do what the king says, he's going to get mad and he's going to end your life. Jumps to chapter 2. Same thing here. The king has, this is what it's great, okay? So Jacob, he says, I've got a dream, but I'm not going to tell you what the dream is. I want you to tell me what I dreamed and then interpret it for me. Imagine that I do that to you. I'm gonna put you on the chopping block. So tell me what I dreamed last night.
Oh, I get it real easy. So I was there. I remember.
You're okay. Go ahead.
So DJ had a dream last night. If you could just close your eyes, all of our viewers, just forget about the YouTube and just listen to the audio right now. Hello, my name is Jacob. I'm going to take you on a journey this evening. So DJ had a dream. It's always somehow centered around Lord of the Rings. If you've seen, not necessarily Lord of the Rings, more like all three of the Hobbits, but DJ was the dragon in all of those
Smaug.
movies. Yeah, he was Smaug.
Oh, okay. Can I get a water, Ben, while he's telling my dream?
And Ben, could I get one of those too? And DJ Smaug, and so just replace Smaug with DJ, and that was
DJ's
his dream.
voice.
Wow, that's
Just
pretty
have
spot
DJ's
on.
voice,
No,
and
still
he's like,
Benedict
I'm fire.
Still Benedict Cumberbatch's voice.
Cumberdash. All right. And so, yeah, that's pretty spot on. And so, same thing with Daniel here with Nebuchadnezzar. But, okay, Nebuchadnezzar, this speaks to his character more than anything else, because he says, and he goes and he tells them, they say, we can't tell you your dream. We weren't there.
And then he says, you're all going to die because you couldn't.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, so since you can't tell me what my dream was, I'm going to kill all of you. And he didn't go to everybody because it's... Exactly. Very good, Libby. All right.
And these are also like the best people at like telling dreams in the entire country or like
best
world.
Of the best. I mean, like these are your Albert Einsteins in Babylon, basically. and he tells them, and he's like, okay, I'm going to murder you all because you can't tell me what my dream was. And if you read the story though, it's pretty funny because a few times they're like, why don't you just tell us the dream? Then we'll interpret it for you. He's like, no, you're gonna trick me. I'm gonna tell you the dream, and then you're just gonna make something up. And what's great is it gets to Daniel and his three friends, and it's like, what was that? And so it gets to Daniel and his three friends, and it's almost as if they didn't know about it. Did you get that idea in the story?
It's
Daniel's like, he's gonna do what? You didn't even ask me. I didn't let me take a stab at the dream. And it's like, we're gonna die? And so they go and they pray. The Lord reveals the dream. He goes and says, hey, give me a time with Nebuchadnezzar. And he goes, he explains the dream to him. Basically, the kingdoms that are going to come after him. Nebuchadnezzar said, basically, don't say anything wrong against their God. I'm not going to say he's the only God, but don't say anything wrong. So it's breaking down Nebuchadnezzar's own view of God, and God will end up having the final say with Nebuchadnezzar in the end and breaking him down altogether. But then we get to chapter 3, and I think
I think what's crazy about it is also like the parallel of like him saying like, don't makes the decree, don't say anything bad about this God.
Right.
And if you like, months or years or however long later, it's like, the Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fire, and he says the same thing again when they come back out.
Exactly. And he makes that decree, and it's like, and we're not real sure on the timeline, right? But then he sets up like a 90-foot image of himself, and it says, hey, I'm going to make this massive gold image of me, and you're all going to bow down to it when you hear all of this music played. And everybody's going to bow down to it. But I think chapter 3 is really the no compromise chapter that you see here. And you see the miraculous deliverance. But you got Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Give me some idea of what the music probably sounded like. Because you had the sackbut, the harp, the psaltery. Give me the
Libby.
sound of a
Trumpets.
sackbut.
You don't have some music back there to play?
Do we have some sackbut?
Yep. That was it.
And that is so you're so
The
all right, I'm
Babylonian
Nebuchadnezzar
shakedown.
here, all right? And I'm so hear ye. When you hear that, you're gonna fall down and worship the image that I have set up. And so
The Babylonian shakedown, they called it.
Babylonian shakedown, yeah.
Shake you down to your knees.
That's right. Written, directed, and produced by Nebuchadnezzar. All right, and so Babylonian shakedown. That was a good one, Ben. All right, you get a good one every now and then. All right, and so let's go ahead and just think the scene. They brought in everyone that's important in the entire kingdom. Okay, they're here.
Dead silence.
Dead silence. All right. You can hear crickets. And then you've got Nebuchadnezzar. He stands up and he says, if you do not worship the image, when you hear the music, you will be thrown into the burning fiery furnace. All right. And that's what everyone thought. Okay, I'm going to bow down as soon as I hear music. And so Nebuchadnezzar stands up and he says, everybody's
Gets the band
quiet.
ready.
Yeah, he gets gets the band ready. All you sultry harp and sackbut players, all right, snap to it. And here he goes, and he says, cue the music. And everybody's bowing down. And then
He's jumping over there. They're all bowing down.
And as far as Nebuchadnezzar can see, people are bowing down everywhere. But then over the horizon, there's 3 Hebrew boys,
5 foot tall, probably or less.
probably around
standing
that.
up.
All right, very very young, probably not like men yet. And there they are, just standing there. And I don't guess he saw them because some people had to come and tattle on him. And then so they run up there and they're like, "Hey, we got 3 guys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. When you played your music, they didn't do nothing." All right. And so Nebuchadnezzar, once again, bring them to me. He ain't happy. He brings them, and because he thinks there's a mistake. Maybe they forgot. Because
How could you forget?
well, he's given them the benefit of the doubt, because what's happened is they've made him a lot of money and they made a lot of good decisions. And so he brings him up there. And he's like, maybe you didn't hear. All right. So what's going to happen is I'm going to have my sackbut players over here get going. And when I do, all right, when you hear the music, you're going to bow down and worship this image. All right. And if you don't, I am going to throw you in the fire.
Which, by the way, was already running. The fire furnace was already going.
Yeah, they had.
And then they heated it up more
I
for
wonder
them.
how long they had it going for.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it
mean,
was-
surely there's other people as well that.
Wondering about that whenever they, they're really precise about how much they heated it up. I wonder if there's somebody who's like, oh yeah, that's about 7 times. That's about 7 times as
yeah.
that's about 7
got
times
markers
as
in
hot
the-
as a normal fire.
You think they have like social distancing lines? Like this is if you have to keep scooting back, all of a sudden
7
if you're
times now.
if you're 7 times back, okay, now it's 7 times hotter.
Oh.
All right.
Use the back of their hand.
It's like, how do you even judge the amount of wood that you're throwing on to get it 7 times hotter?
It's just
How
throwing
far
it,
away
'cause-
do you have to stand
Yeah.
and throw the wood?
Yeah, because the poor guards that ended up
Or then
throwing.
they died, right?
Yeah. You, like
They like
burned.
disintegrated, right? Like
Yeah.
I always imagine they just got too close and they just went.
it combusted.
Just
So-
got Thanos snapped.
So he gets him up there and he says, "All right, listen, guys, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you you didn't hear the music." Alright, 'cause-
And they're like they that they heard it because they were like,
but they didn't bow. All right, they didn't say it wasn't a bad song. It's just they weren't going to bow. All right.
probably the first 2 times they didn't even know that they were opposing anything. They were just digging. They were just so like.
Keep going.
So, best line in the whole thing comes when Nebuchadnezzar says, "Listen, if time that you hear the music, you're going to fall down and worship." And they tell him, they say, "We can't do this. All right, we don't bow down to any image. We don't serve any graven image. We serve the one true God, and we're not going to worship your image." And he says, "Now listen, if you don't do this, you will be thrown into the burning fiery furnace." Which is a very bad thing. All right. And then what we have, though, is I think the best reply and really the defining verse in this whole chapter. And that's when they say, "Listen, you can throw us into the fiery furnace, and our God is able to save us. But if he does not, we still will not worship the image that you have set up." And I think that is so key in this whole thing, because the idea of no compromise, it's not this idea that, okay, I'm going to serve God or I'm going to do this in order that he's going to get something back to me or I'm going to get something back in return. No, it's the idea that I'm going to do this and I'm
Regardless.
regardless. And I'm going to go with God's word without any promise of benefit from it. And you see this kind of the same idea in the book of Jonah as well. When Jonah goes to Nineveh, and Jonah is supposed to be the prophet of God, and he's really got everything backwards himself. But you see the king of Nineveh, and it says that he basically comes off of his throne, he rips off of his royal robe, and he sits in ashes to kind of display what's going on the inside. And he says, "Let us all fast and pray, and maybe the Lord will relent from destroying the city," as Jonah was preaching that he would. And the idea is that we've done wrong, we're repenting, and what's going to happen is, regardless if we get the benefit of being saved or Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego's situation of we are going to be saved from the furnace, we're still going to do the right thing, and we're going to spend whatever time we have left worshiping God in the way that we really should be. And so their correct response to God was solidified not just only in their action, but is almost like a mindset of no compromise. I'm going to continue to walk in this way. I don't know. What do you guys think? What's your...
No, yeah, I felt the same way. It's not blindly following, but it without understanding that there's any reward or anything on the other side
Right.
of it.
Because the reward, I mean, even in death, is the union and the, coming together with God. And so that's the ultimate reward, not necessarily what we can gain on this side of heaven,
I mean, and if they weren't looking for, like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego or whatever, they obviously weren't like expecting God to do what he did. Like when they threw him in the fire, they weren't expecting him to just come out, like completely fine. I don't feel like that's really what they were in their mindset. But like either way, if they're expecting to just be put in prison or demoted or whatever, they were like living like the top you could live as like a Jewish essentially like slave to the Babylonian Empire.
Yeah,
right?
they had probably the best job you
best,
can ask for. Yeah.
And so I mean, they had to give all that away, regardless of if they thought they were really going to die or not.
Right.
Yeah. Plus dying a really terrible,
terrible
death.
death.
Burning to death. Then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would be very sad. Now, and so it goes on though. Like you said in the story, they throw him in. Let's go back to the two guys that had to throw him in. So they've heated this fire up almost to an uncontrollable level. Obviously, all right, it's just like gushing out.
7 times.
And imagine the two guys that Nebuchadnezzar pointed to and say, "You guys are gonna have to throw him in."
They're just sitting there like.
Let's be those guys, Ben. You're Nebuchadnezzar, okay?
Who can we spare? I feel like that's the first question. It's just, who can we spare? And then he's like, you two. Yeah. Both of you.
You talking to
Yeah.
talking to me?
Yeah.
Me?
No,
Him?
yeah, him
Just
too.
him, just
no,
him.
him too.
But
Him too. Both of y'all. Both of y'all.
What's that?
he's
Hey.
What happened?
he wants us to do the he wants
Yeah,
us to
yeah,
throw him in the,
throw
the
him in.
thing.
Yeah, I want you to get him
Do you want
by
us
the
to-
wrist,
Got.
walk in there, and throw
Wish
him
I
in.
could. I wish I could. I really
got a
wish
thing.
I could. We. Are you going to the same deal? We're gonna
Seven. It's
Be,
7.
is it a 7? Yeah.
Oh, I mean, this is at 5, so
Is it-
y'all,
it's
y'all
only
have,
gonna
y'all have
take a
plenty of
second?
time. Yeah, just
Okay.
a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Is there a choice? Do we can we
No.
It's just
If,
that
if
we
you don't,
solved
you'll
the-
die.
we
If
solved
you
the-
do,
got-
you might still die, but you're definitely gonna die if you don't.
I still got 4 sick days left this year.
We saw the wood guy, and that's the thing.
Yeah,
is
and-
that
you had to
That-
take a few trips.
he had
That
to-
was an
he had
accident.
to take a little hiatus after he got.
Yeah,
finished,
he was
so
really-
I was wondering if
Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? So
it
if you
looks
go-
like
if you
we're,
go
it
in,
looks like we're not going to come to agreement on this. Maybe we just rain check it for the
Well, I mean,
moment.
Tomorrow?
so I
We'll come
got a
back
deal
to
for
it.
y'all. I got a deal for y'all,
We'll
right?
come back to it.
So I might have a compromise, right?
Okay, somewhere in the middle.
If y'all go in, right,
Uh huh.
and come back, y'all might die.
Uh huh.
But if you don't do it, you will die.
You will.
okay.
so-
Yeah. So we'll try it. We'll give it a try.
No,
Thanks.
yeah, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
We were
That
definitely
That wasn't
gonna
the
do
question.
it.
We were just asking a few questions.
You're the king.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so they
Exactly.
go, and these guys walk up, and you know, poor guys, they perish.
It's not
Okay,
gonna stop
someone take the
today.
button
On
from
the
Libby.
button.
Take Libby away from that button. She likes it a lot. And so these guys die, but then they get thrown in, and it says that they look at it. It's like the 4th person is in there, and he says, "Did I not throw 3 of them in there?" And I see a 4th one. And it looks like a son of the gods, and which we believe is an angel or Christ himself, and they are miraculously delivered. I think it's always been funny to me that they didn't like take off out of the fire when they realized they didn't get burned.
They were just chilling.
Yeah,
they
I
were
know,
just
it's-
walking around in there.
Yeah, that'd been cool. Just like kicking back, putting their. I mean, like he looks in and they're all like lounging, like got their
On the
hands kind of-
firewood. On the
Yeah,
firewood. They
just,
found,
like,
a,
laying
found a
over,
comfortable spot in the
adjusting
firewood.
logs to try to get comfortable, and so
They're probably just like, maybe they didn't know. They're going into it and they're like, it's not as hot as they said it was gonna be.
They get all the way there and they're like,
all the way in.
"Oh, that's supposed to be."
You're diminishing my joke. No, they're like, yeah, it's not that hot. And then they get in, they're like, well, I guess it's warmer over here. But
when did he throw this guy
it
in?
doesn't feel like what?
Where'd the 2 guards go? Wait, weren't there 2 guards over here?
Oh, hey,
Where
where,
did- where did they-
Oh, yeah. They look back and the 2 cards are gone. Killing me with the laugh track.
So, but I think it's a
Laughing
great
to
example. Chapters 1 through 3, though, is the idea that you're going to set a lifestyle of no compromise before you can get to a point where you're willing to put your life on the line. It's something that you've actually put into practice long before that. So that's not a high adrenaline situation where they all of a sudden, okay, don't sit down, guys. We're not. Yeah, exactly. I'm today.
Big boy.
I ain't even gonna bow down if he tells me to bow down today. I'm
I
feeling.
mean, I don't assume anyone knew. I assume he just built a statue and then it's like, just
Yeah, that had
brought
to
it
take
onto the
time,
people.
right?
Yeah, like I'm sure they saw the statue and they're like, what is he doing now?
Yeah,
And
that's
then
a really big, that's a lot of gold.
and then when they got there, I'm sure they're all just standing around and they had no idea if they were gonna bow down. So I assume it's just like a one-time thing in the morning. Everyone woke up and then now they're supposed to do it. So it's not like it's a pre-thought thing.
Yeah.
It's just that that's what they were trained to do,
And I
and that's
think-
what they train their hearts to do.
I think that's what you see with Daniel 1 and 2 is the author is building up this idea that this is a set lifestyle that they had built in. And so they went to the Lord with prayer. They decided to because they weren't the only 4 people that got pulled from Israel. Everybody else had no problem eating the king's meat and drinking the king's wine in chapter 1. But these 4 set themselves apart, and they make it a part of their lifestyle to say, this is how we're going to live. It doesn't look the same. It's going to be different, and when the time comes, I'm going to be willing to make the ultimate sacrifice if I need to make sure that my life is still carried out as a no-compromise life. So,
And I think an important part of that is like they're not like rebels. They're not just I'm not going to do anything the king says. They're respectful to
Yeah.
the king.
Yeah,
Daniel
and they
speaks
had to.
respectfully, and he does what the king tells him. But
Right.
when it passes that boundary of their faith, right? That's when there's no compromise on there. But like they still do what the king says, and they were still the best that the king had,
yeah,
right?
until his laws and his expectations exceeded that of God's law. And at that point in time, they drew the line. And so, yeah. All right. Well, thank you for sticking with us for our topic so far. So we're going to go to some viewer questions now. Into the topic that we want to answer before we move on.
I don't see anything on over here on YouTube. I don't know about Facebook if there's any questions there.
Okay.
I don't have that tab. I don't have a
Yeah,
Facebook.
well,
so I'm
it'll be
sorry.
okay. We'll figure that out later. All right. So then let's go to some just viewer questions. So once again, if you have any type of questions for Jacob or I or Ben, you can put those in the chat. We'll answer those in whatever way we really see fit. It's gonna be the finality of it is amazing, because after we say it, then you'll never wonder again. We'll give you the right answer, and it's the answer to live by.
Right there.
Boom.
Just as soon as you ask.
Done. All right, so Ben,
In
go ahead and give
stone.
us a question, Ben. What do you
All right,
got
so,
for us?
what was y'all's first car? First model car. What was it like? Was it a dump? Was it good? First
I
car.
had a first model airplane, actually. It was an F-15. I built it. A little plastic. It wasn't the high-tech model ones,
Yeah.
but it was just like the plastic one. I don't even think it was glue. I think it was like you kind of like connect it, and then
you built an airplane out
Uh-huh.
of glue, or not even glue?
What are you even listening to the story? It's a model airplane, Ben.
Oh, model airplane.
Yeah,
So then it's
yeah.
not you didn't
Model.
ride in it.
It's a model of an actual airplane,
Yeah, but smaller, without an engine.
smaller.
And so
So
No
car.
engine. It's plastic, mostly plastic.
it's not a car
It's
then.
not even metal. Yeah.
He
But
wasn't.
You can
he
paint
wasn't-
some parts of it. And actually, more stickers than anything. And then the plane's gray, and the model is gray. And so,
To be honest, he wasn't very good at models, so it was
Yeah.
trash. The thing was basically in the garbage.
you said
before
you
even-
liked it when I finished it.
Well,
I remember the day specifically,
I liked
September 9th,
it. Flew.
1997.
It flew all the way.
I
to
finished the
trash
model.
Can. Can't get over the
Okay, go ahead.
soundtracks.
I know.
Uh,
I think we made a mistake.
I remember your first car, I think it was a silver, not a Saturn. What was that thing? It definitely was silver though, right? It was a
Yeah.
silver, like Kia.
Oh gosh, no.
No.
No, Kia was
that was the that
Kia
was
was the mistake car after that
yes,
car.
yes. So wait. Is it a Dodge?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Keep
Keep going. keep going.
I don't remember.
Saturday
the,
Night Live. Saturday Night Live.
I
Think
don't
of it.
remember. Oh, it was a Dodge Stratus.
I drive a Dodge Stratus. I'm an important person. I drive a Dodge Stratus.
I hope
right.
nobody gets that reference.
I also drove a red Dodge Stratus before I got my new car.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Just loves the Dodge Stratus.
I
The Red
remember-
Dragon,
Love
as I
it so
call
much
it.
you got it
I
twice.
remember that.
Squeaker, the Red Dragon is what I
that
named
silver Stratus. It
Yep.
was a great car.
it.
And
Yep. We went way too fast in it a lot of times.
Way too fast. Yeah. We broke 100, right? We did.
Yeah.
Did we in that car?
Yeah, I don't.
think so.
I think the
Very
statute
fast,
of
which
limitations
is
is
Eric.
passed, so I think we're okay. Yeah.
I remember in Eric's truck we broke 100 often.
I would imagine that was a nice truck too that he had. Does he
Yeah.
still have that truck,
I don't
Eric?
know.
If you're watching,
Eric?
do you still have your truck?
The red one.
The red truck.
Big road truck.
We'll wait.
Eric.
We know you're watching there.
We'll wait for an answer.
Yeah.
And my first car was a.
Wasn't it the red one?
Yeah, it was.
Like a red Chevy Suburban.
What was that? Like
It
Sunbird?
was an '89 Pontiac Sunbird.
Woo!
I had 4 tens in the back of that truck. 4 tens.
And when he was driving down the road, this is the song that he was listening to.
410s in the back of that truck and a 1,000-watt amp. It was not a truck; it was a car.
1,000-watt amp.
So much. I had so much sound and electronics going on back there that one night, whenever I was
Literally
working,
what broke the car.
when I was working, it probably was. One night when I was working, my car lit on fire, and my dad had to come put it out.
I didn't know your car lit on fire.
Yeah. I was driving.
Can you just see Jacob driving down the road?
His car just.
It's
Flames coming out the back.
if you're
Everybody's like, Killer Nos, man. That's
if your
awesome.
car has never caught on fire,
No, that's just
then
my speakers.
you don't
haven't lived.
understand this, but you'll be driving and the cabin will slowly fill up with smoke, and you'll be like,
That's
getting-
odd.
it's getting a little gray in here.
Maybe I should pull over. I'll wait a little bit longer, but maybe
Yeah.
I should pull over. It's just fog.
And anyways, I got to my job and it was I called
Wait,
my
so you
dad.
kept on driving after it started smoking up? You kept
yeah,
on
no,
driving.
I'm
He's not a
driving.
quitter, Ben.
I'm driving to work. I don't give up. Period. I'm driving to work.
It's a lifestyle, no
and it's
compromise.
getting a little smoky, and I'm like, that's odd. And I get to work, I park the car, call my dad, and tell him, hey, some issues here. He drives up to
Just a
look at
few.
it while I'm on break, and there's a lot more smoke than whenever I got out of it.
Smokestacks.
Never put the fire out.
Yeah, and they were those tins were on fire. So be careful if you do your own wiring in the back of your car. Anyways, I think you sold that car, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, and that was before I knew anything about selling
I
cars.
think you sold it for like $150 outside of a.
$400.
Oh, okay.
$400
But I
in a
never
Sam's parking lot,
Great price.
and the guy gave me the money. This is our parents' fault for giving me the responsibility to sell the car because I had no idea what I was doing. I was told, make sure that you give him the title.
Oh, I probably still own that car, huh?
I think so. I think so. You have like 87 tickets on your record. The warrants have been issued for years now.
Oh,
They just haven't
wow.
caught you. But yeah, I just
Arrest dead or
I gave him
alive.
$400. This is a true story. I can't believe I forgot this.
Yeah.
He gave me $400.
I didn't forget it because I didn't see any of that money.
No, I handed him the title. And he left with the car. And as I was getting back into my car, and I'm not even kidding, some guy drives up right where your car was parked because I'd put something on the mirror, and he hey man, did you sell that car? I go, yeah, I sold it. You got any more $400 cars? And I go, no, sorry.
Guy drove off screaming out the window. I got a $400 car.
Yeah, I know. Got any more $400? Nope. Sorry. Fresh out. All right. Next one, Ben. Ben,
Next
what's your
question.
first car? You got it now, right?
Yeah, I have it now, but I don't have the title for it. So
Mm.
maybe I got scammed too.
It's probably the same guy that's got Jacob Sunbird title.
Somebody just give it away, $400 cars.
I have a 03 rodeo, a Isuzu rodeo.
Nice.
So very
Why
odd.
cheers for that? Why cheers for
I
that?
don't know.
What?
I made a mistake.
Isuzu
Go Zuzu down the road. Yeah, it's
rodeo.
rodeo,
Hmm.
the most Texan thing ever.
Yeah. Well, I think that's
Wonder
all.
how
that-
that meeting went to come up with the name for the Isuzu. Need to name the Isuzu.
I don't want to say.
Rodeo.
Rodeo.
I like the rodeo.
Rodeo.
Rodeo. All right, go ahead, Ben. Next question. Oops.
All
Sorry,
right.
Mike.
What is the color of your toothbrush at home? Your question.
This is a sore subject for me, so why don't you go ahead and take that?
It's not. Oh. Blue?
I mean, that's all I got. Blue.
Blue?
Yeah, it's blue and black with some white bristles. So.
Is it more blue or is it more black?
I think more black with a blue trim. Blue is much more of a design thing, I think, for it.
It's just a normal toothbrush?
No, electric. It vibrates.
Oh.
Yeah. Really knocks the plaque off. Cleans
Wow.
deep.
Yeah, they say that plaque can cause heart disease
Fake news.
in the future.
Fake news. If you wear a mask, it doesn't work.
Wear a mask.
Yeah. Mask fixes it.
Yeah.
What?
Wait, if you're brushing, how do you? Okay, hold up. How do
You have to. It's a government mandate.
How do you?
All
I have to
times.
wear a mask at all times.
How are you
except for
brushing
on
your?
the show.
How are you brushing your teeth around?
Because this is considered a stage. so I'm
actually-
speaking from the stage. So as soon as I get out that door, I'm putting my mask back on.
We actually got.
I sleep in my
I
mask.
swear.
We got
Masks,
breakfast in a mask.
masks, no.
What?
You're not allowed.
We got permission. This is straight from the White House to do this show
The
without
governor's house.
to do this show without masks.
It's a
on.
state issue
No,
right now.
no, it's goes higher than that.
So is it okay if
Highest
we do
level.
this podcast without masks? And yeah, go ahead. It's gonna
And
be
at
huge.
first they said,
it's gonna be
no.
huge.
And I said,
We just went over their head.
I said, this is the 6 foot podcast.
Yeah.
You're talking about.
Not the 3 masks.
And if the White House says no, what we found out is all you have to do is tweet the real Donald Trump, and he'll answer your questions personally.
He always says yes. He always says yes.
And it's really him because it says the real Donald Trump.
I
so
think it's an automatic response that
Yeah.
he's got set up on there just to reply.
whatever your
yes.
question is, yes.
Yes.
It's gonna be huge,
It's
huge.
That I'm not gonna. We're not gonna go there. We're
Sorry.
not gonna go into Donald
No,
impersonations.
let's not do the political thing. So why is toothbrushes a sore subject for you? Drink that water quicker than I did.
I have sensitive teeth.
Yeah.
But my toothbrush is black.
And blue.
Just a source. I just don't like to
Black
think.
with-
I don't even. My teeth are so sensitive. I don't
Oh, it's a
even.
pun.
I don't even like to think about brushing my teeth.
It's punny. All right, next question, Ben. Ben, what color's your toothbrush? I'm sorry, we completely forget about you.
No one
Mine's
cares.
White and blue?
White and blue.
That's basic. Go ahead.
Hey, yours is black and blue.
Do you know what's? You know what's a scam? This is a scam. This is a good. I'm glad that you brought this up because this is breaking news right here. It's a scam with the electric toothbrushes because the heads cost more than any normal toothbrush does. Pay $26 for a toothbrush head. Pay $200 for the toothbrush.
It's probably Alexa. She has something to do with that.
She did.
Alexa,
Amazon
buy
Alexa.
me a toothbrush. She heard me.
All right, next question, Ben.
Jacob, how do you feel that I got my own merch?
Well, it's. I mean, you can make anything. You know, like I have. I have all kinds of things. You know, it doesn't mean that anybody cares or that anybody would ever even consider buying them. So, like when I was a kid. Here's a good example of exactly what you're saying. When I was a small child, I would make mud patties. I'd go out and I'd make mud, and
I remember that.
I would act like it was food, and
Sometimes we eat them.
depending on
was
whoever
gross.
I was playing, whoever was participating in this mud patty production, I would tell them that we're gonna sell these things. We're gonna make a killing. Never sold a single mud patty.
How
Likewise,
stupid can you be to
You will
buy- to
never
make
sell.
mud
You will.
pies?
You will never sell one single piece of merchandise that has anything to do with Ben on it. I don't.
Actually,
It-
our first order was I voted for Ben's shirt.
Well, that's because Ben bought it.
I don't.
You know, if it's Ben, he's got access to the internet. He's
We have
probably,
proven that. Yeah.
probably taking his parents' credit cards, so we might want to keep an eye on that.
Mom,
I don't know if
Dad,
mom and dad are
Check up on that.
if you keep loose like cash lying around the house, but maybe that's something to look out for that we need to consider.
could be a thing.
Ben, any response?
I haven't bought anything in a long time.
Laugh track. Perfect.
Perfect timing.
Okay, so
All right.
moving on.
Favorite food subcategory.
Favorite food subcategory?
Are we talking about like sub sandwiches or
I don't exactly know what the question is asking. I
Favorite
think it's like,
food?
What would
sub?
the category be?
well, I guess like favorite food.
I don't know what the
category,
I don't
but,
know
like,
what the hierarchy of categories.
I mean, because like pizza
are
would be
for
a
food.
category, right? Pizza would be a category. It's like the subcategory would be like pepperoni.
No. You think pizza would be a category? I was thinking like food groups or like
Yeah.
Or like so
It'd be
like it'd be
bigger.
like
So a
Italian, and then
subcategory-
would be like would be
Are we talking about like grains versus meats or?
is this? Are we talking? How do you? Dead air.
I don't know. I feel like these questions are plummeting into.
I don't know what a subcategory.
abyss.
So
Guys,
A
when we put something on
subcategory
there
of
to ask
food.
questions, just ask
Yes.
questions. I mean,
I
like,
have a very deep question.
hold on. Let's answer the food
I
one. Hurry
doubt.
up.
If you came
Sometimes.
up with it, I
Sometimes.
doubt it.
Sometimes late at night, do you still cry?
Still cry? Why were people crying previously?
Jacob, do you still cry late at night?
Why
When
was
you're
I crying
there
before?
alone, sleeping. We're trying to sleep. Late nights, 3:00. Are you crying?
Technically, that'd be early morning.
I don't know what you're talking about. Why? What do you mean crying?
Let it out.
What is wrong with you two?
He's bringing up stupid questions, and I don't want to talk about them.
I cry sometimes at night.
Who doesn't cry? Ben. Thanks a lot.
That's just because his tear ducts were removed. That's a true story, by the way.
Is your tear ducts got removed?
Yeah.
So you've never cried?
Not since he was like, what, like
Yeah.
3.5?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's a medical problem. It looks really
I
weird.
just had
I
to
think-
yell.
I think yeah. Well,
You could poke him in the eye. You should watch it. It's the most freakiest thing ever.
you can poke him in the eye
Yeah,
and no tears?
no water,
Zero
no tears, nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. No glassiness, nothing. It just looks like somebody put a blow dryer in his eyeball and put it on high and zzz, and nothing.
As a result, I can't see directly in front of me.
I would
I
very
have
much like to
turn
see
sideways.
Mm,
that. Yeah.
I don't know on that. I don't
You-
stand directly in
Wait,
front of
you
him.
put what directly in front of you?
No, like as a result of the surgery, like I can't see directly in front of me.
Was that an
Oh.
elective surgery or was that necessary?
That's
I have no idea.
that's good.
Was that like a plastic surgeon that you consulted?
You just
I think his parents put in some baby modeling
yeah.
stuff, and they said that would probably probably help if he didn't cry.
Perfect. No matter how
Yeah.
much he cries, no tears come out. It doesn't make his face all flushed. It's perfect.
No, it's good. Cheeks won't get red. I mean,
Yeah.
completely normal.
That's good. Do
Yeah.
you think that maybe there was any point where they were trying to take like your parents would have made sort of the decision together to like have your voice removed or maybe your arms? Thank you. Maybe we could just have.
Why did those people stop laughing so abruptly? Oh.
I think you know what would be a good.
Our studio audience, man,
You know.
they're crazy nowadays.
You know what would be a good
Stop sign we have up there.
a good movement. Hashtag remove Ben's arms. So if we get the arms removed, now this isn't a bad thing, okay? So hear me out. Because he's got you, Ben. You'll attest. You have long arms, right?
I have very long arms.
Yeah. So he
Literally,
doesn't.
you can stand up straight and then go
He
past your
doesn't even
knees.
like them. So basically, we take. Look at this. Take the
Because-
arm off to where his hands connect from the shoulder.
Him grabbing the microphone.
And this is perfect because then Ben can still do all the things that he wants to do, but just a little bit less mobility.
Yeah.
Why would I want less mobility?
Hashtag remove Ben's arms.
Yeah. Move Ben's
Hashtag no more high fives. That's just a straight 5. Maybe you can go.
Hashtag low fives only.
Yeah.
All right. So that brings us to the end of our viewer questions. Once again, if you would like to ask us a question, you'd like us to try to answer it here on the show, you can do it. You can follow us on Instagram. We routinely put opportunities for you to post questions. You can also go to 6feetpod.com to where you can, at any point in time during the week, actually submit a question. We'll get that, we'll review it, and it could possibly be answered here on the show. And as always, you can get in on the chat while we're doing the show and ask the question there with Ben, and Ben will relay that to us. So that brings us to the end of the viewer questions, though. We're going to go to this last, and I'm actually excited this week, Ben's segment. All right, and so I don't think it's any secret that Ben has tried to make his own segments, and they have fallen flat. All right, I mean,
Do crickets.
that's basically what we hear every time.
That's Ben's segment right there.
Yeah, just a lot of wasted time without much like response or anything like that. So this week, all right, we met up and we decided, hey, we care about Ben, okay, and we don't want to see the viewers really revolt or a mutiny to start to remove you from the show, Ben. And so this week we actually decided we're going to put our heads together and we're going to come up with one segment that Ben there's no way that he can mess up, all right? And so this week we combined my love of history and
my love of rockin'.
And so what we did this week is we went with Ben
Jammin'
Franklin. All right, Ben Jammin' Franklin.
It's the perfect segment.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is we're going to combine Ben's talent of music or ability to know some chords on the
I wouldn't call it a talent. It's more like
the fact that he can kind of play the guitar.
Yeah.
All right, and so Ben's going to take his guitar here. All right, let's go ahead and say bass guitar. All right. And he's gonna give us some history that he's actually a Ben Franklin aficionado.
Yes.
And Ben, you haven't even tuned it yet. What are you?
You're tuning it?
You gotta tune it before you play.
Yeah, but you usually tune it before you come.
I don't really call what you do playing. It's more like sound comes out, but
wow, that's really loud.
The best thing about this is that it's perfect. He can't mess this up.
No, there's no way.
It's such a good segment idea. I came up with half. DJ came up with the other half.
Everything that we come up with turns to gold.
Really found a certain level of synergy. We found a synergy.
And so, Ben, we're gonna pass it to you, all right? And so I'm excited.
Yes.
I don't think there's any way that this goes bad. Go ahead.
And all we do is we just sit back and let Ben shine.
Let him take it.
But remember, it's our idea. We came up with the idea. It's not Ben's.
We're still not releasing the reins of him to be able to come up with his.
We're really
own
excited
segment.
about this. So
go ahead.
history meets rock and roll.
Jammin'
This is Ben
Franklin.
Jammin' Franklin.
Founding father with some.
Here we go.
Rocky
Wait.
jams.
I got to do a history meets rock and roll.
All right,
Get
Ben.
ready for Ben Jammin' Franklin.
Hello.
Hey, Ben.
Starting not good.
Go.
Starting not
Go.
good.
Oh, I really hope we're not gonna ruin this segment.
Really bad bass lines. Really bad bass lines. Didn't seem like there was much there to mess up, right?
I didn't think so. I thought we were gonna run right into it, but
Somehow we started in the mud.
What are you?
Okay. Okay.
Are we gonna get to the Ben Franklin part?
Well, he's just let him jam. Oh, that was scratchy. Okay. Well,
This is not the
It's-
David Letterman show.
it's subpar, skill wise, but the best thing is that it can be redeemed with his knowledge of our greatest president, Benjamin Franklin.
What I think is funny is the fact that you mentioned best thing in this segment.
Or that Benjamin Franklin was the. No, it's okay.
Do you know anything about Benjamin Franklin, Ben?
He was never a president.
Say you got to give it some soul though, Ben. Come on, like we're carrying this. I don't know how you give us some.
DJ, did you know Benjamin Franklin didn't actually fly a kite with a ring on it?
Didn't fly a kite with a ring.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
they
did know
didn't-
that, Ben.
they
I'm a
didn't get
history
shocked.
major.
He didn't get shocked by lightning. You noticed that the hair was standing up on the rope,
Okay, you're
and he saw
ruining
the
it.
key.
You're
He touched
blowing
the
it.
key.
It's not even
Yeah.
playing
Shocked
while
him.
he's talking.
Wait, he touched the key. Here, I'm gonna make it better. Ben Franklin, he didn't use no kite. Ben Franklin.
Thanks for saving this one, Jacob. I think.
Go ahead. Next, give me another Snapple fact.
He also he made the first volunteer fire.
We can't hear you if you don't talk into the microphone. That's why they exist.
He actually made the first volunteer fire department.
Ben Franklin. Everything was on fire, and then Ben Franklin came. Made the first volunteer fire department. Made it with a little soul.
Okay.
It's just I can't.
All right. Let's
was-
let's mute him. Go
The
ahead
thing-
and get him off
The
there.
problem with this is that
Yeah. We should have plugged his bass into
I don't know.
our feed there so we could actually mute that. But now we have him.
it's just hurting my ears
Yeah,
at
I
this
know,
point. It's
same
not even
here.
like a.
And I even have headphones. It's not coming
It's
through
not
the
even like a,
headphones, but I can
bass
still.
line. It's not even a bass line. There's nothing connecting everything together. And also, the facts about.
Did you ever take a look at that contract that I gave to you? I sent you the
Oh, yeah.
PDF with his contract
Yeah,
thing.
his stuff.
Gosh,
The thing is I
we've
think
got to.
there might be some
We're never gonna beat Joe Rogan.
ways that he could retaliate as an employee. Employer.
We're never
type
gonna
of,
financially recover from this.
Yeah, it's all downhill. The thing, whoever wrote that contract, I mean, half of it's in
Why do you keep throwing that on me?
half of it's in crayon. Did you write it, or
It's
did you
all I had. at
did
the
you have the
time.
kids write it?
It's all I. No,
Your children?
They
did
did
they
not-
write the contract?
they were. That was the only thing I had to write with. It was their crayons. They didn't
Yeah.
write it though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wrote
yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, I mean, just seems like you would have found a pencil.
Yeah, because that would have. Well, I guess we could have erased. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, you could have.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't
Well,
erase the
gosh
crayon
darn
because
it.
it's.
we cannot get past this bin segment thing.
Okay.
What are we gonna do?
So,
Well, it was our idea.
I'm gonna
but
save
then
it.
we let
I'm
Ben
gonna
get
save
involved.
it. I'm gonna save it. Here we go. Benjamin Frank.
This is what happens when you make a
Benjamin
segment for
Franklin.
me.
This Benjamin Franklin had a 400-pound deadlift.
Oh yeah.
It's not factually correct.
All right.
More facts. Benjamin Franklin was the first person to. Benjamin Franklin created the Apple computer.
Okay, we are so far away from where this was supposed to go.
Benjamin Franklin was the first person to break five. What is it? Not 5 minute. How long are the 40s? 40-yard dash.
Like 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds.
What
is
was
fast.
what was the hard one to break? Like 4 seconds or 5 seconds? 5 seconds was hard,
I
right?
think you're thinking of the mile.
He was the
4-minute
first
mile.
person. There we go. Benjamin Franklin was the first person to break a 4-minute mile.
with gout. It's known fact. Okay, we've digressed. This is ridiculous. All right, well, thank you for joining us this week. Once again, ask us questions throughout the week. Don't forget to go to 6feetpod.com for merchandise, and if you so feel like it, you can also leave it as a donation. Grow the show, all right, and help us out. We've been able to kind of upgrade this thing. There's some other things we'd like to do, but we need a little help doing it. And so if you feel led to do that, go to 6feetpod.com. You can drop a tip in the tip jar, or you can just buy us some merchandise. That helps as well. And so, Ben, thanks for nothing.
It's a bad it was a good segment.
It was a good idea. Theoretically, it was good.
Yeah.
The execution.
I think
was
literally
ridiculous.
anybody could have
How I feel right now about that.
just knocked that one out of the park. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It would have been batting practice. But
But Ben acts like we're throwing him 90-mile-per-hour curveballs.
yeah.
So, anyways,
He's never good at baseball. He's just not a
he likes baseball though, but he's
yeah, well, I mean, to like something, you know.
that's very true. He obviously likes base playing too.
I like action movies, but you don't see me jumping out of, buildings and
You should.
shooting guns. Although
Ouch.
I was gonna say you don't see it, but I do stuff like that all the time, probably.
It's a normal occurrence. All right, so thank you guys. It's been a fun show. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, next week, same time, all right, and then the same 6 Feet Pod channel. All right, you guys have a good week, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.
6 feet.